Imagine an organization where leaders, managers, and employees, they don't fear change. Instead, they recognize and embrace change as a potential for growth. Whether it's small changes like realigning the schedule, moving a desk, or hiring a new employee, or large transformational changes like implementing an enterprise management system, or introducing AI into your practices and procedures. Change infuses every aspect of your organization. So having an organization that is change ready is not just a nice to have, it's a business necessity. Creating a change ready organization requires you to nurture and sustain a culture of change readiness. In this video, I want to share with you 3 actions that you can take to begin to build that culture of change readiness, and with it, create a change-ready organization. Keep watching. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Dr. Dawn Marie Turner, President of Turner Change Management and creator of the Readiness Mindset. Culture. Everyone talks about culture, yet few really understand it. And because it's the most stable part of your organization, it's even harder to change. Culture is that largely invisible force. It's the essence of your organization and is grounded in your organization's conscious and unconscious beliefs, learned values, attitudes, assumptions, and behaviors. It drives all of the decisions, actions that you will take and the ones that you don't take. For example, practice values, which could be different from those that are stated on the wall. Informal communication, attitudes, and unconscious beliefs. It is these unseen and therefore often ignored aspects of culture that can go unnoticed during change. That's why you can train people to do something different. But if you don't address the underlying beliefs, your culture won't change. The result, that newly acquired skill or activity doesn't stick. I've done a previous video on the impact of culture, and we'll put it in the show notes below. Creating a culture of readiness begins with exploring and examining these intangible and hidden elements of your organization's culture. What are the unwritten, unspoken rules, values, and beliefs that are driving the way you do things in your organization? For example, you may have a leader who talks about collaboration, but anytime anyone raises an issue or a problem, they're labeled as resistant. Thus, the true culture is unilateral decision-making, silos, and people learn to be afraid to bring issues forward. As a result, many changes get started or implemented, but few fail to really stick, and you can find yourself in a never-ending cycle of low-energy change. It doesn't have to be that way. So let's talk about 3 actions that can begin the process of developing culture of change readiness and a change-ready organization. The foundation of a change-ready organization is mindset. I know some of you think about mindset and you go, oh, maybe that's a little woo-woo. But mindset is the most powerful and least visible aspect of your organization's culture. It is the foundation and precursor to every action taken or not taken. Mindset is the way we orientate and encode information about our environment. Our mindset determines what we pay attention to, the way we interpret, respond, and react to our world. Therefore, the first action needed to create a culture of change readiness is to adopt a readiness mindset. Most of the leaders, when I first start working with them, believe that people resist change and that their role is to manage that resistance. They have what I call a resistant mindset. I'm not usually surprised by that, since the idea that people resist change has been encoded almost into every aspect of our language, beliefs, and attitudes towards change. Write in the comments section below if you've ever identified another person, an employee, or a team member as resistant to change because they didn't react the way you expected to, because they criticized the change, because they weren't or willing to move forward in adopting the new activities and behaviors. Resistance isn't real. People, you and me, we're not resistant to change. Yes, it's true. All of us have and are hardwired for consistency and predictability. We have a comfort zone, but that doesn't make us resistant to change. Leading with a resistant mindset can inhibit healthy and sustainable change, even sabotage your current change initiatives. One reason is that when you're working with a resistant mindset, you see resistance where there is none. It's easy to mistake and misinterpret normal human responses, like asking lots of questions, criticizing the solution as negative feedback, and labeling that feedback as resistance. Adopting a readiness mindset flips that switch. A readiness mindset is based on the belief that when people, you and I and everyone, when we believe the change is necessary, when we feel prepared and supported, we can and will move toward something different. With a readiness mindset, you work with people to create readiness, and all of those previously seen barriers becomes information to guide and assess the level of readiness and to support people in their journey towards the new intended outcome or state that you want to create. Readiness is not just the absence of resistance. It's our willingness, our capability, and commitment towards something new or different. It is the precursor to any change, and it's based on our readiness that you move forward or away from anything new or different. I did a previous video on the readiness mindset, and I'll post it in the show notes below. Action number 2, stay present and practice mindfulness. One of the critical mechanisms our brain uses to keep us alive is prediction. Dr. Sarah McKay, a neuroscientist in Australia, states, every thought, feeling, and action we take is based on our brain's moment-by-moment best guess of what will happen next. The problem is that guess, that prediction that our brain makes is based on what has happened in the past, and therefore our response is based on what has happened in the past. Staying present, becoming aware of how past behaviors or events are influencing your response to a current situation will help you cultivate readiness. It's not that you can't learn or use the past. You should. It's that you don't allow unconsciously for the past to define present behaviors. When mindfulness is practiced with a readiness mindset, you open up new possibilities, new ways to engage with people. Instead of reacting, you can consciously interact with the events, the emotions, and the reactions of the people affected. Staying present also leads to a third action that can help you create a change-ready organization. Challenge your assumptions, whether you're a leader or an employee. Challenge your assumptions and actively listen to explore another point of view. Think about this for a moment. When was the last time, maybe based on an action someone took or didn't take, a facial expression, or even a small gesture, that you made an assumption about their motivation or rationale for what happened? Most of us do it all the time, and we do it unconsciously. We're not even aware that we're doing it. We see a look on someone's face and we interpret it as a dirty look. We think, what's their problem? Then we start making stuff up about what the problem might be. An employee doesn't follow through on something that was agreed to, and you assume they are resistant to change. All of us have this innate ability to quickly, in seconds, effortlessly, and below our level of awareness, to perceive, interpret, and react to a situation or the actions of another person. Worse, we often base our assumptions on past events or our perception of the situation. Several years ago, one of my employees seemed to be tentative when she was sharing ideas or raising concerns. And that was a surprise to me. She hadn't been before. When I inquired about it, she stated that she thought I was annoyed with her because when she had raised an issue, I looked upset. And I said, I need to think about it. Then, for a variety of reasons, I never got back to her. So she assumed I was upset with her. The reality was very different. I was pleased she had brought the issue forward and concerned about the issue. Hence, that was the look on my face. It was a look of concern. I also did need to think about it and had simply not had the opportunity to circle back to her. To create a culture of readiness, a change-ready organization, you need to recognize and challenge your assumptions and listen actively. As Dr. Mark Goulston, author of Just Listen, states, we need to rewire our brain. The stuff you think you already know about someone or a situation is in reality blocking out what you need to know. Creating and enabling a culture of change readiness is possible, and it's worth the effort. Employees in a change-ready organization view change as necessary. They don't experience high levels of stress. They feel more in control, and they're willing to work with you to make those changes your organization needs a reality. I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to transform your organization into a change-ready organization, reach out. Let's have a conversation. Bye for now.